Okay guys, still on the Learn Python programming series. Today we're going to be looking at a few functions that we can perform on lists. So we're going to be looking at list functions. Okay. Now I've made a simple array here, or a list which contains some names. We have names: Victor, Mary, Jeremy, Vitosh, Corey, and Timothy. So I really want to perform a lot of actions. For example, I don't just want to come down here and say, during the course of my program, I'll just say print names. That's boring actually. So I haven't saved this yet, so let me save this as let's say list func. Save. Okay, so that runs and I get this printed out to the screen. So what if I wanted to add an element to these names? Okay, so that's we go. Before that, let's check the length of this. So there's a keyword in Python named len, which is used for what? Checking the length of a list. Okay, can also be used for strings, just so you know. So we can just go ahead and say length is equal to len. So you just put names. Now this is a keyword in Python, and it's taking what? A collection to check the length. So if I go ahead, before we do that, let's print out length to the screen. So we're just going to print length. Okay, so once you run this, you can see the length is 6 because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this gives us the actual amount of elements in our list. Now remember, in the indexing, we are saying this index is 0, 1, and so forth, and this is -1 and so on. This is not applied in length. Length is actually checking the amount of items in an array. So what if we wanted to add an item to this list? What are we going to do? That is going to be handled by append, right? So append is used for adding items to the screen, or to a list, sorry. So this is used for adding items to a list. Now how do we do that? You can come down here and say names.append. So we'll just going to give a female version of me, Victoria. Nice. So what we're going to do, we're just going to print names now to see the names we have here. I'm going to remove these print names and that. So we just appended something here. So we run that F5. Okay. Name is not defined. Okay, so that is because I called a different variable name, so it's actually names. So if I run that, we would have Victoria as the end here, as you can see. Let me close this out and run it again so you can see that properly. So we have Victoria here. Okay, so if we want to remove item from a list, we're going to use the pop function. So what does the pop do? Removes the last element from a list. So we can just come down here and just say names.pop. Okay, so you can just go ahead and print names and see what you get. F5. Remember, this array was declared from the start and we've added a name here, Victoria, so you just have to observe and see what happens. So before we run this, let's print the original names here before we add another element here. So let's just run that and see. You see we have this list here, and now we have Victoria, and now Victoria is gone. Why? Because we used names.pop, and that removed Victoria from the list. Okay, now that Victoria is gone, what is next? Okay, we can be checking the index. So there's another function named index. Okay, so what does the index do? It checks the index of a given item in a list. So for now, I'm going to remove all these guys. So we can just say print names.index. Now you can just give an element here. I say Victor. So if we run this, you can see it's giving me the index of Victor 0. Wow, that's great. So that's very cool actually. So if we change this to say Corey, okay, Corey is at 4. Is that correct? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now what if we had another Corey here? See, we had another Corey. Corey. Okay, let's see how that runs. It just gives us the first element, so that's really great to know. That's what I would want if I was operating on a list. So that is what we can get with index. Now we can actually insert items instead of append. Append just adds it to the ending, so we can insert it at a particular index we want. So this inserts what element at a given index in a list. Okay, so after this we can just come here and say names dot insert. Now what you're going to give first, the first argument of this function is going to be the index. Let's say we don't want Victor here anymore and we want say Khalid there. You just say dot index. We're going to give the index at 0 because Victor is at index 0. What we're going to do, we're going to insert another element. The second parameter is going to be the element, so Khalid. And if I run that, you see I didn't print out names again, so I'm just going to print out names to the screen. And once I run that, you'd see Khalid has pushed Victor to an index of 1 and Khalid is on 0. So you can change that. You can insert Khalid at, let's say, Corey space. Corey is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll give it a 4, Khalid. And if we run this, Khalid will instead come here and Corey will be 5. Okay, so that is basically some of the basic list functions you can perform in Python. So I really hope this tutorial was helpful in advancing your knowledge on Python list, and thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, leave a like and a sub, and I'll be leaving the playlist link in the description below. So thanks guys.